Hi everyone, it's Dawn. Welcome back to my channel. I hope that you're all having a good day today. I'm having a really great day. My last video I filmed in advance, so I didn't have a chance to thank all of you for the well wishes for my son's graduation party that happened over last weekend and Father's Day. We had so much fun. My son had a wonderful time with his friends. He had about 10 of his friends show up and they stayed up pretty much all day. A couple of them came and went to other open houses because a lot of the graduates had their open house last weekend, but we had a house full and we did have it catered by Portillo's. And if you're from the Chicagoland area or even in the Midwest, I think they've expanded. It's like a really kind of nicer hot dog, hamburgers, Italian beef sandwiches, crinkle fries, all kinds of stuff like that. So we had it catered by Portillo's, which is my son's, one of his favorite restaurants. So the teenagers were very happy, but the adults were happy too because it's delicious and everything was really good. And then we did get him a cake from one of our favorite bakeries in the area. So we had a big cake for him. And we started at around noon and I was cleaning the house at around 11 p.m. So it was a very long day, but both of my daughters were home and both of my sons still live at home. So at the end of the day, my husband and all of the kids and myself just cleaned up and it went so quickly that I was just on a high for the rest of the weekend. Well, then it was Father's Day the following day and we went hiking and we went out to brunch. So that was really nice. And I hope that you guys all had a wonderful weekend too, and that for all the fathers out there, that, all of you who have sons who are fathers, you all have fathers, you all have maybe a husband who's a father or a father figure in your life. It doesn't make any difference. I hope that all the fathers were spoiled. So that was the weekend and now it's already Thursday. So the week went by really quickly. So I wanted to thank all of you for the well wishes on the party. Oh, and I also have one more thing. I filmed a video a couple of years ago and it was a video sharing some higher end handbags, like Louis Vuitton handbags, and how I clean them, how I care for them, and how I purchase some of them from secondhand sites. And I never put that video up and it's just been sitting in my queue for 2 years. I didn't delete it, but then for some reason I never put it up. I'm gonna put that video up and you don't feel that you have to watch it if you're not interested in it. Not that some of you are just so sweet and kind to me, you would watch it because I put up a video and you're just that sweet. But don't feel that you have to. I just feel like this video would be really good to have out there for anyone who's wondering about how to clean and care for. They're coated canvas handbags and the interior of their handbags and secondhand sites and all that kind of thing. So I'm going to put that video up, but when you see it, it's a couple years old and it's just to have out there. So I wanted to address that so that way when you see it, you're not like, did Dawn cut her hair again? Because my hair was shorter in that video. So over the weekend, Clara Barrera, she's another YouTuber in the over 40 community. She's in her 50s. I'll link her channel below down in the description box. She put a notation in her community. You know how some women or men or anyone who has a YouTube channel, they can put up just a blurb telling you about sales or just some information and it's not a video, it's just like a notation. She put that up on her YouTube channel this past weekend announcing a 30% off sale on the Natasha Denona website. And there are some things I've been really wanting from Natasha Denona. So I decided to go over there and peruse the website and I did pick up 3 things. And I'm only going to share one of them with you today, but I did pick up a couple of new things from Natasha Denona that I'd like to share with you in upcoming videos. So Clara also put a notation up that she is now a Natasha Denona affiliate. And that means that she just does amazing Natasha Denona or all makeup reviews and they invited her to be an affiliate. I'm so proud of her. She's such a beautiful soul. So congratulations to Clara. I hope that you guys will all pop over to her channel and tell her I sent you and tell her congratulations because I'm really proud of her. She's just such a sweet lady. Okay. So the items that I'm going to be reviewing for you today are two new to me products. One is newer on the market and one's been around for a couple of years. And the one that's been around for a couple of years is the Natasha Denona Bronze Cheek Face Glow Palette. And this is something I picked up on the Natasha Denona website for 30% off. I've seen this in store before and I've swatched it and I've been curious about it, but I've always walked away from it. And I think it's because this is a face palette. It's very kind of blinding. It's got this very large mirror, like a really nice packaging, but everything's so shiny that it's hard to show it to you without blinding you. So I'm going to cover the mirror, and this is what it looks like. And this is more of a bronzy highlighter topper situation than it is like a cheek and bronzer palette. So I wasn't sure it was something that I ever needed in my collection. I don't have something like this currently in my collection, and it doesn't have like products that like stand alone. It doesn't have like a blush, and it doesn't have like a bronzer per se. Everything is sort of like a topper, and the goal is to give you sort of that glass skin, really dewy, glowy effect. And the reason why I really wanted this palette was because many of you who watch me know that I can't stand anything radiant or luminous that's a creamy foundation or anything like that on my skin, because when I was younger, I struggled with very, very oily skin. And even at the age of 54, I still get an oily T-zone and my orbital area around my eyes gets oily. It's like included in my T-zone. So it's not as bad, obviously, as it was when I was a teenager, but it was always something I was self-conscious of, and I just don't like anything like oily on my skin. So I steer clear of those kinds of products. But this is not like that. This is like a cream to powder product and powder topper products, and I'm going to use it for the first time with you today. So I'll tell you more about this as we use it. And then the other thing is a mascara from the drugstore, and it caught my attention recently. It's been around for about 6 months and I wasn't really aware of it. But lately, whenever I go to Ulta or Walgreens, I've been noticing it. When I go to Walgreens, they've put it kind of front and center with some other new products, and this is included in that, so it caught my attention. So I've been watching some reviews on this product, which is a mascara, and it's from L'Oreal, and it's the Telescopic Lift. Now, many of you have probably tried the Telescopic mascara. I have too, and I really like that mascara. I like the way it looks, but I don't like that it smudges all around my oily orbital area midday. I just despise that, and if a mascara does that, I get rid of it. So I started watching YouTube videos and reading reviews about this mascara, and it still piqued my interest. And I don't know if any of you ever follow like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok drama. Sometimes you can't avoid it, like trends on TikTok that could be dangerous or just ridiculous or sometimes funny, and they go viral and you might watch them. I'm not on TikTok, but still a lot of TikTok gets shared on Instagram or in my Facebook feed. So sometimes I see them anyways. Well, there was some drama related to this mascara, and I wasn't aware of it until yesterday, but it happened when this first came out about 5 or 6 months ago. And apparently what happened was there's a very large beauty influencer on TikTok. I don't know who she is. And she demoed this mascara. I think it was sent to her because she's got a really big following. And she was using the mascara, and everybody accused her of going off camera and coming back with false lashes on. And I don't know if she did or if she didn't. And when I heard that yesterday, I remembered reading something about that months ago, and I just didn't really pay attention. So it was related to this mascara. And then I watched some other videos about this mascara to decide if it's something I thought would work for me. And the reason why I get so watch all the reviews, read all the reviews, is because I'm very selective with my mascaras, mainly because of the oily orbital area, and I'm just kind of picky with my mascaras, so I stick to the ones I like. So this one still piqued my interest after watching many reviews. I thought that a lot of the reviewers looked really great in the after, like it really did a lift and almost have like a false eyelash effect. So maybe that TikToker didn't come back with false eyelashes. I don't think she ever made a statement. I don't know. I didn't go down that rabbit hole, but that's neither here nor there. And you can read more about that if you're interested. But I thought I would review this for you. And it does have a bit of a learning curve. You can't just pop it out of the container or the wrapper and use it, because you might use it wrong. And if you use it wrong, you'll have a lot of clumping. And I watched YouTubers use it and they're like, oh no, it's totally clumping. And then they're like, maybe I'm using the brush the wrong way. And then they'd look at the directions and fix the situation. So I thought, I'm going to follow the directions and use this for the first time with you guys. And so what I'm going to tell you about it is that one side of the brush, there's a front side of the brush that I'll show you, and that lifts and loads your lashes using the front hook bristles, and you apply from root to tip, obviously. And then the second side is step 2. Use the side hook comb to separate your lashes for added volume and length. And it shows you what the sides look like. And since I can't read anything or see anything without my reading glasses, which keep getting stronger and stronger, oh, my eyes, you guys. Anyways, I don't want to complain about my vision. I'm just thankful that I can see. So this is what it looks like. It looks very different than the Telescopic original, which looks like a telescope, and it's called Telescopic. And it's not to be confused for the Telescopic Lift, which does not look like a telescope. So L'Oreal did something completely different with this one. And I think it's a rubber bristle brush, which I do prefer. And so let me put the old glasses back on. And to me, both of the sides look exactly the same. And it does say on the directions to use the front comb bristles to hook onto your lashes, root to tip. And since I don't see a difference between the sides, I am just going to do whatever I think. And then when you turn it around, this is step 2, and this will just help you separate your lashes and add volume and length. So what I noticed from other YouTubers that were using this when I was watching some reviews is that I lost the tube. Is that it had some initial kind of clumping, but don't worry about that, because step 2 will remedy that situation apparently. I did already curl my eyelashes, and I have a little bit of eyeliner and my eyeshadow on, so everything's done. So what I'm gonna do is go in with the side comb bristles. And I'm not noticing any real clumping. I do see like a little bit, but nothing crazy. One girl did the step 2 first, and it was really, like, it just went on, like, it was very, very clumpy. It was a very clumpy situation, because I think that you just have to kind of prime your eyelashes first, like so. Root to tip. And I'm not going to be too crazy about putting on several coats, since that's the first step. Okay, so that is just the side bristles. I really like the way it looks. I feel like I could just stop right here. That's how most of my mascaras look. But I'm gonna follow through and use the side 2. And it does scare me a little bit, because it looks like there's a lot of mascara on there. And so now we're just gonna kind of comb through using this side. I could see why people made that mistake, because it seems like this is what you would do first and really load up your lashes, and then use that finer comb to separate. But I do see some drama going on here. I'm like a false lash effect. So obviously finished eye and other eye that doesn't have anything. And that's impressive. Okay, the formula is not too wet, is something I noticed, which I really like. Sometimes wet formulas can be difficult to work with. even though when your mascara begins to dry out, they last a lot longer typically. And then I remember the Telescopic brush was really a flexible one, and this one is not hardly at all. So it really grabs your lashes, and it has like good control once you're getting in there because the brush isn't kind of flopping around. So let me do the other eye and I'll be right back. Okay, I have the other eye finished and it looks pretty dramatic. I have very long, thick lashes. It does have that sort of false eyelash effect. Now, I like it on my initial impression. Now that I know what to do with the brush, I feel like it's pretty easy to do. It's not like very complicated. When I was watching the videos of people demonstrating it, it just seemed like it was gonna be like a project. But once you know what side of the brush to use for what, step one, then step two, it's easy peasy. The real test is going to be if it flakes or smears during the day, because if it does either of those things, then this mascara is definitely going to be a no-go for me. So it can have the best first impression right away, but if it does either of those other things, then it's not gonna work for me. I don't like panda eyes, and I can't stand when little flakes of my mascara get on my face or in my eyeball, and you guys know. So I will put a notation in the description box letting you know how it looks after a full day of wear. It's about 8 a.m. and I'm probably gonna wash it off around 9. So it'll be 13 hours. So I will let you know. I'll be looking in the mirror about halfway through when my eyes start to get a little bit oily in my orbital area to see if it transfers, obviously, because if it does, I'm gonna have to kind of wipe it off instead of walking around with panda eyes, and then I'll know it's gonna smudge. So I will definitely keep you posted. Okay, so now we're moving on to the Natasha Denona Bronze Cheek Face Glow Palette. And nice mirror here, but I don't want to blind you guys. These two right here are cream products. And something Natasha Denona does that I really like is when she has cream products, she puts this little plastic cover over it so that your powder products don't get into the cream products, and it just preserves them. And I really like that. So what you have here you have your two kind of bounce cream shades is what they're called. And this one is called the Bounce Cream Glow. It's the lightest shade and it's like a cream highlighter. Then you have this cream product right here and it's called the Bounce Cream Blush. And I feel like it's a blush topper. That's what that looks like. And I'm not sure that that would work for me. Oh my goodness, it might work for me as a blush. Look at that. I'm gonna blend that in. I was all prepared to use a different blush first, and I had something here, but maybe I won't. So look how light that is, but it definitely has that glowy pigmentation when I put it on my cheek. And Natasha Denona, I watched the video of her demoing this palette and how it's meant to be used, because I want to share with you the way it's meant to be used. And she does say to use your fingers to apply this. And oh my goodness, just that little dip goes such a long way. I was going to use a pinky blush and then use this as like toppers, and I had my blush sitting out, but I think I'm putting that away. I'm not going to do that. So let me go ahead and do the other cheek and then we'll move on. I was gonna give you a little cap, not a recap, but a first cap, what do you call that? An introduction of how you should use each shade before I started, but since I started applying this, I'm just gonna do it as I go. And let me think how I would describe this. So I would describe the Bounce Cream Blush as a very baby pink, bronzy, sort of gilded shade. It is not opaque. It's definitely sheer. I could still see my skin through it, but it definitely gives me enough pigmentation to use it as a blush. So for all my very fair, pale-skinned ladies, you could probably pull this off as a blush. I think that when Natasha Denona in the video I watched, I'll link it below, that when she was using it, the girl she was using it had a deeper skin tone, and it was like a like she used it alone, but I felt like it didn't look like a blush. On me, it looks like a blush. Okay, now we're gonna go in with this shade right here, and it's called the Super Glow Nude, and it claims to impart an ethereal glow on your skin. And so I'm just gonna pick that up with sort of like, I don't know, a fluffier Sonia Kashuk brush, being careful because I don't know how this is gonna, ooh. Okay, it's super glowy. It really is super glow. And this has definitely a bronzy hue to it, but it's not peachy at all. What I like is that nothing is too peachy or orangey. It just has that bronzy, glowy effect. Okay, so I'll just put a little of this in areas where I want to glow. Look at that. It just gives you that really dewy summertime look when you're out in the heat and humidity and you're sort of sweaty, but in a good way. That's the effect. Definitely that pseudo glass skin effect that, you know, was so popular with K-beauty. And I love this look, but like I said, I don't like it with cream foundations that impart this look because I don't like anything greasy on my skin, and this isn't greasy at all. So since I thought this was going to be a mostly bronzy highlighter topper palette over my blush and bronzer, like I said, I was prepared to wear my blush and apply some like matte bronzer lightly. But now that I saw the blush, I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I am going to use this as my bronzer. These two are so silky. Look at that. The champagne and the bronzy, and look at that bronze. It's so glowy. I do think I need to be careful. That's the problem with doing first impressions. You just don't know what to expect. But I like for you guys to see it in real, like the first time I'm using it, because you know, you're gonna use it for the first time maybe, and you wanna know what to expect. Okay, so I'm gonna use my really fluffy bronzer brush. This is from Sephora. You guys have all seen this. And I'm just gonna kind of swirl my brush in that shade. Okay, yes, on fair-skinned ladies like myself, I can use this as a bronzer. And that's just one like little swirl. Let me just apply a little on my neck and on my chest. You guys, I am way more impressed with this palette than I thought I would be. It definitely gives me that really beautiful summertime glow. It's not like anything I have in my collection, and I do have like the Estee Lauder Bronze Goddess highlighters and bronzers, and I have, you know, just all those products that we have heard about. MAC had a bronze collection a few years ago, and I have some of those products. Nothing is like this. This is really impressive. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with this Cream Bounce Cream Glow, and it's the lightest shade in the palette. Natasha Denona applied this with her fingers on the model, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to do one side with my finger because that's what Natasha did, and I'm gonna try one side with a brush just to see. And actually, I can't really tell much of a difference between my finger or the brush. These Bounce Cream products, if you've ever used them in other Natasha Denona palettes, they're sort of a hybrid of a cream and a powder in one. They're just really unique. And the beauty of them is that nothing sticks to them. So like during the day, if the wind's blowing, I'm not going to be sticky. It's going to kind of dry down to that powder effect, but it's still going to give you the glow of like a cream product or a luminous foundation or something like that, that you might think would be a little bit stickier. I'm going to do a little bit Cupid's bow and a little in the arch of my brows. Okay, I'm so excited about this palette. It is a beautiful palette. And one thing that Natasha Denona did also in the video that I watched, that I will link below, is that she went ahead and used some of these colors as an eyeshadow on the model. So it was like a face palette. I did not do that. I did something else with my eyes because I just didn't want to do a full face. Plus, I just did a full face palette video for you guys, but this can also be used. It's really different than the Cali Contour palette from Smashbox though. Totally separate species. Okay, so those are the two products I wanted to review for you today. So just a quick recap. I think the mascara is a really beautiful mascara, easy to use. Check the description box to find out how it performed, if it flaked or smudged or any of those nasty things that none of us like. And then the bronze cheek palette. I am way impressed with this. When I swatched this in the store when it first came out, I was always thinking, oh, that's really nice, but I do have a lot of bronzers. I do have a lot of highlighters. It's really different. I don't know that I need that. And I'm really happy that I jumped on the sale this past weekend because this is an absolutely beautiful addition to my makeup collection. And I think this is a product that I would grab every single day this summer because it's better than anything else I have for achieving that really luminous, beautiful glow. So I'm gonna bring you in close. And let me know what you think. Do you have this palette? Have you tried this palette? Are you curious about it? And the mascara, if any of you have already tried it and it flaked or smeared on you, let us know down in the description box. I'll also give you my own personal experience with it, but it helps to know. When I was reading reviews on it on the Ulta website, they were so mixed, you know, and I feel like that's the way it is with so many products. People either love it or they hate it. And then you do get a few that are like, meh, it's okay. So you never know what to do. Do you try it because some people hate it? Do you try it because so many people love it? You know, it's just really hard to know. So yeah, that's my experience so far with these two products. And I hope that you enjoyed this video. Have a blessed and beautiful day. I'll see you next time.